top 10 best of 2019? That's a little too easy. We are narrowing that straight down to our top 5. So Laura's got her top 5. I got mine. What are yours? Let's talk about it in the comments. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
And these are our top 5 best movies of 2019. It was an odd movie year, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, there weren't a lot of great movies.
Yes, there weren't a ton of great ones.
There were some good ones, but
Yeah.
It was really hard to make this list this year.
Yes, it was. And also harder to take that and narrow it down to 5 instead of like 10.
There was a lot of decent movies,
yes,
just not favorites. Like, I look back at the list and I went, oh, I forgot that came out this year. Oh, but I did like it.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you give us your number 5 and your number 4?
So, number 5 is actually a dual one because it's 2 cartoon movies. I went with Toy Story 4 and How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World.
I believe the proper terminology is animated movies.
Animated. Did I say cartoon movies?
You did, but whatever. It's fine.
Non-live action. And so I enjoyed both of those. I thought they were good conclusions. I didn't feel like Toy Story 4 needed another conclusion.
Yeah.
But it still worked. I was happy with it. I enjoyed it. And I liked the conclusion of How to Train Your Dragon. So I
did too.
And neither of them was better to me than the other. So that's why they're both, I put them at number 5.
I think it pretty much echo your thoughts on those. Like, Toy Story 4 was unexpected because Toy
We cannot talk today.
Toy Story 3 was a fantastic conclusion to things. Like, you know, so it was odd, like, how are you going to do a 4th one? But I thought that was good. Take Woody to the next level. But How to Train Your Dragon 3 was an epic conclusion
I
to that
really
trilogy.
liked the way it ended, yes.
That was really good. Okay, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is a movie that I saw by myself because he did not want to watch the TV show. Downtown Abbey.
Downton
Abbey.
You even
whatever.
watched the show.
I don't. It doesn't matter. It's spelled Downtown Abbey, whatever. But I liked the TV show. I liked the way they ended it with the movie because I did not like how the TV show ended.
Well, there you go.
And so it brought me back into the world. It was fun. And if you like those kind of period pieces and you like Downton Abbey, then you will enjoy this movie.
Coming in at my number 5, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
I've been wanting to see that one. I haven't gotten there yet.
I know. I put it at my number 5 because I was surprised how much I was going to like it. Now, I knew that I was going to like it. Mm-hmm. You know, I figured it wasn't going to be bad. Tom Hanks is really great. He's like a chameleon, blends into everything he does.
I've liked him pretty much everything he does.
But as a kid, like, I didn't like Mr. Rogers that much when I was a kid.
Oh,
like,
I grew up on it.
I grew up on it too. I'm just saying, like, I would always watch Sesame Street before I'd watch Mr. Rogers. Point is I didn't know what I was really going to think of this movie, and it kind of just moved me to just see a movie that was that happy, that promotes that much light. And, you know, I don't know too much about Mr. Rogers or his life, but the way Tom Hanks portrayed him, the way this movie portrayed him, I felt like they did a great job. And I felt like what I saw was a man full of the Holy Spirit. Because he exhibited all the fruits of the Spirit, kindness, gentleness, mercy. And you got to see how those fruits of the Spirit impact everything around and just spread light to everything around. So it was really cool. And the idea of forgiveness. The idea that our lead character who meets Mr. Rogers is holding such unforgiveness in his heart, and it's poisoning him, poisoning his marriage, and even, you know, got a newborn son, poisoning that relationship from the beginning, but how forgiveness lets that go. And, you know, Mr. Rogers says, do you know what forgiveness is? At the very beginning? Like, I don't know. Stuff like that. It surprised me how much I enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Number 4, John Wick Chapter 3.
Number 4?
There's other movies to pick. Point is, I love John Wick. John Wick Chapter 3 comes in at number 4. Perfect place to come after wonderful, kind Mr. Rogers.
Hello, neighbor.
Those movies, and she agrees with me, are absolutely amazing.
I love the John Wick movies. My favorite current trilogy.
Yes, it is a really, really good trilogy.
It's more than a trilogy now.
I still have a hard time like debating which one is my favorite. I think the first one still stands out as my favorite.
But that's okay.
Gosh, John Wick Chapter 3 was good. Ending a little weird. I don't know how he survived the fall off that building, but you know, it's one of those things.
Suspension it's John Wick. Who cares?
Suspension of disbelief.
We get another movie. That is what's awesome.
Yes. Oh, Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 on the same day.
I've got a feeling you're going to change that. We'll see.
You know what? I hope they don't, because Keanu Reeves, he deserves that. To have the Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 on the same day.
He'll make more money if they're a couple weeks apart.
Plus, those Matrix sequels, I liked Matrix 2 and 3, but they went a little bit downhill. So let Keanu have John Wick 4, which is guaranteed going to be good.
Yeah. Number 3 is Spider-Man Far From Home, and number 2 is Avengers Endgame.
What? Number 2?
Yeah, deal with it. Those kind of, I felt the same about them for the most part, but I feel like the reason Avengers Endgame got 2 versus Spider-Man is because getting all of those characters together and the culmination of everything coming together and the ending, and it was better to me than, I mean, Spider-Man Far From Home from a one by itself movie definitely would be better, but Avengers was like 10 years in the making.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could not have had that kind of a movie without all of the careful planning over the last 10 years. So, that's my 3 and 2.
That's what I loved about the MCU. It's like, you could just see the planning that went into it. You could go back and see the groundwork laid for everything, and then it all just paid off. Like, I love Endgame.
Yes.
All right, for me, coming in at number 3, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, we have the same.
So, yes, we have the same number 3.
On one.
But I think Far From Home is probably my favorite live-action Spider-Man movie. Again, when we went and saw that in July, I was just surprised by it. Like, I knew it was going to be good, and I was expecting good things out of it. But it still managed to surprise me by how much I was drawn into it, how much I enjoyed it. I love seeing him in the Iron Spider in the beginning of the movie.
That was pretty cool.
Cooler, though, like, on the Blu-ray where you get the edited scenes, the cut scenes, like, that was,
the
get
deleted
more of that.
scenes.
Yeah, so that was cool to see more of him in the Iron Spider there.
Yeah, the scene that you see in the trailer, that never showed up in the movie.
This is like Peter Parker growing up, you know, learning to step out into his calling.
Even more so than in the first one.
Yes, and so I thought that was really cool to watch Peter Parker grow like that.
I like the first one better, but that's me.
Number 2, The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that'll be an honorable mention for me.
Oh, you didn't even put it in your list. Oh, my goodness. You know, it's funny because I know this is probably controversial that in my top 5 of the year, coming in at number 2 is The Rise of Skywalker. But, you know, it's Star Wars. And really, I was just planning to have fun. And I had a revelation while we were in Colorado for Christmas, because with my family, we decided to watch the Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what I learned? All those haters and complainers that hate The Rise of Skywalker, that hate The Last Jedi, let me inform you of this. When you watch the Star Wars Christmas special, you will have the same revelation of me. Oh my, there is no bad Star Wars movie except that. That is rock bottom. That is what a bad Star Wars movie is. And next to that, everything else, no matter how controversial or what bad choices were made, is brilliant.
The highlight of the holiday special, the commercials.
Oh my gosh, watching the commercials from the 70s.
That was like the best part.
But I'm not comparing Rise of Skywalker to the
No.
Christmas special. On its own, I just liked it. I mean, when you look at this sequel trilogy, it had a lot of challenges to overcome. It had a toxic fan base. It had so many things that no matter what was done with it, it was going to be divisive at this point. And I liked what they did. I liked the return of Palpatine. I liked, spoiler, the revelation that Rey was a Palpatine, because the fact that she was born from such evil and it just had this natural bend in her blood towards evil. You even see it in The Last Jedi where she's drawn to the dark side. She's drawn to that cave.
It offered something you needed, and you didn't even try to stop yourself.
But just because that's the root and where we're from, it doesn't define who we are. She chose to be a Skywalker. Kind of like we're born sinners and we have that natural bend in us towards that, but that's not what we have to be or who we have to be. Just as she was adopted into Skywalker, we could be adopted into God's family. And I was like, that to me is just brilliant. And I love that plotline. Plus, there's just so much more. I did a whole long video on it, but Rise of Skywalker, I had a lot of fun with it, found a lot of good meaning, and it's in my number 2. So let's hit some of our honorable mentions. Do you have any, Laura? Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. I really enjoyed the movie. I did. I just like the other ones a little better.
Yeah. What about Last Jedi? Did you like that better?
But that's not in this year.
No, oh yeah, that's right. Forgot what we're doing. So I have 3 honorable mentions. One is Glass. I just really like Glass.
Yeah, that was really good.
Great closeout to this Unbreakable trilogy. So I thought Glass was really good. Shazam.
Oh, yeah. That's
I like
Shazam.
Too. Yeah, it was just pure fun. It was nothing special, unique, or anything, so not in the top 5, but it was fun, entertaining, and enjoyable. Yes. And my 3rd honorable mention, The Joker.
And I have not seen Joker yet, so I can't put this in my ranking anywhere. I've been wanting to see it. It's just when it came out, and then I was working. It's how life goes sometimes.
As a film, I thought it was brilliant, but it's so dark and twisted, and Joaquin Phoenix does such a great job that I haven't wanted to go see it again just because it was so dark. But don't hear me wrong, it was a brilliantly made film. Joaquin Phoenix performed it amazingly, and one of the things that I like, you watch it, there's this verse where Jesus says, "If you think the darkness in you is light, and beware, oh, how deep the darkness." I love that verse, and I feel like that movie is a perfect illustration of it because all this time you have Arthur Fleck, and he thinks his ultimate freedom is his persona, the Joker inside. So how deep the darkness that he thought that was his light. All right, Laura, let's hit it. What's your number 1?
Well, if you couldn't tell by my reaction earlier, is John Wick 3. I get exactly, for the most part, what I expect out of those movies, and I love it. Senseless violence and just ridiculous action that makes absolutely no sense how it works, but it does.
Yes.
And so I'm sorry. I know it's probably not as good as Avengers, Endgame, or any of those, but to me, I loved it, and that's why it's number 1.
Well, that's why it's your top 5. And
so
John
you guys
Wick is
can
amazing.
disagree with me all you want. I don't care. It's how I feel.
Well, my number 1 is probably super cliche. I don't know. Endgame. I think that was truly my favorite of the year. I am a superhero nerd. I love superhero movies. They're my favorite genre of movies right now. And MCU, I just feel like they did it right. The way they planned it, the way it all came together. And like you said earlier, you go into Endgame, and we have, at this point, by the time Endgame released, 11 years of buildup. 11 years of expectation. And it met, and in some ways exceeded my expectations. There was a lot of pressure on Endgame, and I enjoyed every second of that movie. I mean, come on. Captain America catching Thor's hammer.
That was awesome.
I knew it.
Calling down the thunder!
I mean, you knew it was going to happen, but it was still awesome.
It was awesome. And so, yeah, I have no idea what else to say. I love how they handled the time travel. I'm excited for what they're going to do with the multiverse going forward. There's a lot of things that not only did Endgame end an entire thing of just awesomeness, but it laid the groundwork for a whole new beginning thing of awesomeness. So I'm very much looking forward to see where we're going to go.
Me too.
Well, there's our top 5 best movies of 2019. So happy New Year's Eve to you. So on this New Year's Eve, as we're looking back at 2019, in the comments, let us know what were your top 5 favorite movies of 2019. And tomorrow, New Year's Day, as we begin the year 2020, let's look forward. We're going to drop a video, our top 5 most anticipated movies of the year 2020, and we look forward to hearing from you about all of that. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified when those videos drop and all the other great videos we do here on Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
Thank you so much for checking out Durbania.